Hello, this is Rambling, and in this video I'm going to be knitting while rambling. This is not an instructional video on knitting, I'm just literally blabbing into the abyss about random things. So I've once again lost against the mosquito wars. I thought I was safe from mosquitoes this summer because the entirety of the summer I wasn't bitten, not even once. But yesterday I was attacked by them because I got like 10 bites all over my legs and my butt. And then for myself and my mom, our mosquito bites get like super swollen. And so already I see the bites swelling and I know it's gonna turn into the size of a golf ball, like each one. And they always leave scars on my leg that last many months, and then it looks like a disease has scourged my legs. Would that be the correct term, like the correct use of that word? I don't really know, but you get the idea. But now it makes me ponder about things like, oh, what if I just release a bunch of dragonflies in the house and they will be a natural protection and there will be dragonflies flying everywhere, but at least I won't be bitten by mosquitoes. And I think dragonflies, like, they don't do anything to people. It's just insects they eat, right? So I feel like if a dragonfly landed on me, I don't know if I would be disturbed or not. If it landed on my food, I would probably be disturbed. But at least I wouldn't be bitten by mosquitoes. You know, it always amazes me when there's those people that can just hold insects in their hands, and you know, like when there's spiders, you would like pick them up and release them outside and you're not even scared. That's so amazing. And I know that when I was younger, I would kill spiders when they're in the house, but lately, I like capture it in a vacuum cleaner and then release it outside. I just feel guilty even when I kill a bug. I just feel bad for them. I mean, they're just trying to live their life and they don't realize that they entered your home and that you're super territorial and that you want to kill them. So when I can, I try to suck them up with the vacuum cleaner and just put them outside. Unfortunately, when they're ants or something, I do destroy them. So I'm very sorry to the ants. Oh, and so I can't say recently, I started knitting maybe like a month ago. I learned how to knit around a month ago because earlier this year, my husband and we were watching Outlander, and I really love historical clothing, and I really love the shawl that Claire and a few other characters would wear. I think her daughter was wearing a shawl that was similar, but like a knitted shawl, and I really wanted one, and so I was checking on Etsy to get one. But then I saw the price of how much a knitted shawl is, and it was like over $200 for a hand knit shawl. And then I was like, and I was choking because I didn't expect it to be that expensive. And so I was like, oh, then I rather learn to knit myself so that I could save money. And then so I watched YouTube videos. I will link all the videos I watched in case you want to learn how to knit. I only know how to do one stitch, but I learned how to knit watching YouTube videos, and I started to make the triangular shawl that I have, that I'm working on, that you see. And I actually finished it, but then I realized that it's a little bit short. It was too tight when I had it wrapped. So I'm extending it right now. But after learning to knit, I can say that the prices that I saw for hand knit items is justified because it takes a very, very long time to knit. And in the beginning, I was struggling even to do the cast on, which is when you put the yarn onto the needle, because I would get it on and then when I tried to do the stitch, it would be too tight and my needle wouldn't go through. But eventually I figured it out, but knitting takes a very, very, very long time. So if you ever see a knitted thing or project, you can know that a lot of work went into that. And now I have a greater appreciation for sweaters and blankets. And then if someone were to knit a blanket, I feel like it would take so many months to do it. I feel like if I were to try to knit a blanket, it would probably take like an entire year. Oh, and when I was getting the materials to start knitting, I actually ordered from a site called Knit Picks. And while it was in the process of being shipped, I saw a post that said Knit Picks, their warehouse had a carpet beetle infestation. And then I was like, oh, I just ordered my first yarn from there, like wool yarn, and it might be infected by carpet beetles. And so I went into like a rabbit hole reading about carpet beetles, and then I found that what a lot of people were doing was they would actually put the wool inside of the oven. So once I received the wool, I put it into the oven for 30 minutes at 170 degrees Fahrenheit. Then after I took it out of the oven, I put this skein, I think that's what you call a thing of yarn, right? A skein. I put the skein inside of a plastic Ziploc bag. And I honestly haven't seen any signs of beetles, so I think it's good. And I've actually ordered more wool yarn from Knit Picks, and just every time I received the order, as soon as I opened the box, I would like preheat the oven, open the box, and then put the yarn straight into the oven for 30 minutes. Oh, and to be more precise, I would put it on a baking tray with parchment paper and then put it in the oven. And this is for 100% wool. Do not put cotton yarn into the oven because that will catch on fire. This is only for 100% wool. Oh, and a very interesting thing, wool, I found out, can be used as a emergency fire extinguisher because apparently wool is very fire resistant. So I think if you had a small fire, you could probably put your wool sweater, 100% wool, again, your 100% wool sweater or blanket to kind of suffocate the fire. But of course fact check, because I don't want you to be exposed to dangers because of something I said. Yes, so that's how I got into knitting, was because of the Claire Beecham shawl. And I plan on, after I finish this, I plan on making another color, but with a different knitting pattern. Oh, and I noticed that the next game for Hollow Knight is coming out very, very soon, Silksong, which I feel lucky because I know people were waiting for several years for the next game to come out, but I only played Hollow Knight recently, like earlier this year. I played it for the first time and finished it, so I feel lucky that I didn't have to wait that long for the next game to come out. Oh, and unrelated, I was thinking while I was driving home from work one day, you know the people who have very bad road rage, where pretend the light turns green and you haven't moved for like literally 1 second and then they honk at you? Are they just like that all the time? Because if they were on the sidewalk and somebody was walking more slowly or something, are they gonna start screaming at them? Because you know how you see those people who do like super crazy things where if they have road rage towards someone, they would like open their window and then they scream at you, and sometimes they swerve their car at you, and in very extreme cases, there's the people who would pull out a gun. But it just made me wonder, are they like that all the time in their lives? Or is it just when they're in a metal rectangle that's moving very, very fast? Like, how come when you're inside of a metal rectangle you become so aggressive and hostile? What makes that turn on? Or are you just like that all the time? Like even in person? But then there's people I know where they seem pretty chill in person, but then they're very angry when they're driving. So where does that come from? What causes that? But then again, there are some times when I get angry too when I'm driving, but I feel like it's never to the point where I would ever yell at someone or swerve my car towards them or something. I guess it'll probably just be people who have shorter tempers, but it still goes back to the thing where I know people who seem like chill, but then they would be angry when they're driving, so most of the time they don't have a short temper, so I don't really know. Oh, and another thing I wonder about is, you know, those people who have very, very loud cars where you're trying to sleep or you're just driving peacefully and then you hear like kind of cars, like the super loud, is it their engines? I'm not knowledgeable enough about cars, but I think it's their engines that are super, super loud. But are they trying to impress people when they have those very loud cars? Or do they not realize that it's annoying everyone? I feel like I sound like such a hypocrite because I was going, oh, the people who get angry and road rage and blah blah blah, are they like that all the time? But then now I'm complaining about how I'm annoyed by those very, very loud engines. But honestly, like, do they think that we're supposed to be impressed? Because you were just making me angry. Especially because for some reason, in my neighborhood, I think I have like people racing on the streets or something, because sometimes I hear cars that are being very loud up and down the street, and I also hear a car that keeps revving their engine, but also their car is like making popping sounds. I don't know what that is, but it makes like popping sounds while revving engines, and then it's like super, super loud even when my window is closed, and it's usually like in the middle of the night, and then it makes me so bitter and angry because I'm trying to sleep and they're being loud, and then it makes me want to throw an egg at their car. But then now I just sound like the road rage people. But then I wouldn't even want to throw an egg because I feel like I would be wasting the egg on their car. But it's like I wish that like those people with the super loud cars, I wish that there was like a giant flock of crows or something that just like poo all over them in their car. Their beloved, very loud car. Or that their car hits like a speed bump and it like destroys the bottom of their car, and so they can't drive it anymore. Okay, well, I think that's enough for now. So I'm gonna wrap this up, and if you listened this far, thanks for listening/watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!